Can you believe it? In a world already bursting with drama, one explosive moment just sent shockwaves through the entire cast and fans alike. Picture this: Bambi, known for keeping her cool, suddenly losing it over a laugh. But not just any laugh that cut deeper than 1,000 shady comments combined. What happens when years of simmering resentment and hidden grudges finally explode on camera? Is this just another reality TV stunt or something far messier? And where does Kirk fit into this chaos? Was he just an innocent bystander, or the puppet master laughing behind the scenes? Hold on to your seats, because this scandal is dripping with betrayal, raw emotions, and the kind of tension that makes popcorn obsolete. Trust me, you don't want to miss a single detail of how a personal struggle turned into one of the most jaw-dropping confrontations ever caught on camera. Ready to dive deep into the drama that's got everyone talking? Let's unravel the madness behind the fight that changed everything. At the center of the storm is a confrontation that has shaken fans and cast members alike. Bambi, a figure usually known for her strength and resilience, found herself pushed beyond her limits in a situation that no one saw coming. It all began when she decided to open up about her struggles, revealing vulnerabilities she rarely showed to the public or even to her closest friends. What should have been a moment of understanding and support turned into the exact opposite. Instead of sympathy, Bambi was met with laughter, sharp, mocking, and utterly disrespectful. That laughter came from two familiar faces: Rasheeda, known for her biting humor and unapologetic attitude, and Kirk, who chose to join in with a smirk that suggested he was more entertained than concerned. The combination of their dismissive behavior struck a nerve with Bambi, triggering a reaction that would change everything between them. What makes this clash even more explosive is the tangled history among these three. Bambi has endured years of subtle jabs and quiet undermining, often brushed off as playful teasing but deeply hurtful all the same. Rasheeda, with her sharp tongue and relentless confidence, has often been at the center of controversies, never one to back down from a fight or hold her opinions back. Kirk's role, though less vocal, has been equally complicated. His laughter and apparent enjoyment of the situation raised questions about where his loyalties truly lie and whether he played a calculated part in stoking the tension. The stage was set for an inevitable eruption, and that night in Atlanta became the perfect storm. The group gathered, cameras rolling, music playing, and drinks flowing. But beneath the surface, the air was thick with unspoken grievances and long-held resentments. Bambi's sharing of her personal story should have been met with compassion, but instead, the laughter from Rasheeda and Kirk shattered the fragile peace. It was not just a moment of poor judgment. It was a public dismissal of Bambi's pain. An act that left her feeling betrayed and humiliated in front of friends and millions of viewers. The reaction was swift and raw. Bambi did not respond with words alone. Instead, her emotions overwhelmed her, leading to a physical confrontation that shocked everyone present. She lunged at Rasheeda, igniting a chaotic scene that had to be broken up by security and captured by the relentless cameras. This was not just a fight. It was a breaking point, a manifestation of years of bottled-up tension exploding all at once. The aftermath rippled far beyond the room where it happened. Fans took to social media to voice their opinions, some cheering Bambi for standing up to disrespect, and others condemning the escalation of violence. The incident sparked fierce debates about loyalty, respect, and the pressures of life under constant public scrutiny. Yet, this fight was more than just a dramatic moment caught on camera. It exposed the delicate, often fragile nature of the relationships within the group. Beneath the surface, alliances had been shifting, trust eroding, slowly but surely. What appeared to outsiders as a circle of friends was, in reality, a web of competing interests, bruised egos, and unresolved conflicts. The laughter that sparked the fight was not an isolated act of cruelty but a symptom of deeper issues. Bambi's struggle story had been met with skepticism and ridicule more than once, creating a gulf between her and the others that grew with every slight. Rasheeda's penchant for sharp commentary and dismissive laughter had long been a source of friction, making it clear that beneath her confident exterior was a willingness to challenge and provoke those around her. Kirk's ambiguous position added fuel to the fire. His choice to laugh instead of intervening raised suspicions that he enjoyed watching the drama unfold. Some insiders whispered that Kirk had a hand in encouraging the tension, playing a subtle game of divide and conquer to maintain control behind the scenes. This added a layer of complexity to the situation that made it impossible to view the fight as a simple clash of tempers. The cameras had captured every moment, but the real story was in the silent exchanges. The looks that passed between cast members in the days leading up to the confrontation, and the private conversations that hinted at deeper resentments, the group dynamic was fragile, and the incident made it clear just how quickly years of friendship could unravel. It raised questions about the very nature of the relationships portrayed on screen. How much was real and how much was constructed for entertainment? Were these friendships genuine, or just alliances held together by shared fame and the need for dramatic storylines? The night of the fight was a turning point, but it was also a mirror reflecting the complicated reality behind the scenes. For Bambi, the moment was a cathartic release of pent-up frustration and pain. It was a declaration that she would no longer tolerate being dismissed or belittled. For Rasheeda, it was a test of her reputation as the sharp-tongued queen who never backs down. For Kirk, it was an ambiguous moment that left viewers wondering about his true intentions. The fallout would not be contained to a single episode or social media feed. It threatened to alter the course of relationships and careers alike. The group was left to pick up the pieces, navigating a landscape forever changed by that one night of explosive drama. The public watched, debated, and speculated, hungry for every detail and eager to see what would happen next. This was not just another fight. It was a seismic shift in the reality TV world, a story of friendship, betrayal, and the high price of life in the spotlight. The tension that had been simmering for seasons finally boiled over in a way that no one could ignore, leaving everyone involved to confront the consequences of years of buried resentment and public exposure. As the cameras cut and the night ended, the ripples continued to spread, making it clear that the drama was far from over and that the relationships at the heart of the story might never be the same again. The fallout from that night in Atlanta was immediate and far-reaching, with whispers and rumors spreading like wildfire both inside the cast circle and across social media platforms. The laughter that had once seemed like a passing moment quickly became the catalyst for a full-blown scandal that no one involved could ignore. Behind closed doors, the atmosphere was thick with tension as cast members took sides and the fragile web of friendships began to unravel further. Anonymous sources close to the situation have shared some fascinating insights into what really went down before and after the fight, painting a picture that is far more complicated than what viewers saw on screen. It appears that the laughter from Kirk and Rasheeda was not just an insensitive moment but part of a larger pattern of behavior that many found troubling. Reports suggest that the group had been dealing with an ongoing undercurrent of disrespect, aimed primarily at Bambi, with subtle digs and quiet undermining becoming the norm, rather than the exception. Several insiders revealed that Bambi's struggle stories had been met with skepticism and dismissiveness, repeatedly creating an environment where she felt isolated and attacked rather than supported. One unnamed source described the situation as a toxic cocktail of jealousy, insecurity, and frustration that had been simmering for months, with the fight merely serving as the explosive release of all that pent-up emotion. Meanwhile, public reaction was as swift as it was intense, with fans flooding forums, comment sections, and social media pages to weigh in on the controversy. Some sided firmly with Bambi, praising her courage for standing up against mockery and refusing to be silenced by laughter. "Finally, someone stood up to that disrespect," wrote one fervent supporter, while others expressed sympathy for the emotional toll the situation must have taken on her. On the other side, critics were quick to condemn the physical altercation, arguing that violence should never be the answer and that Bambi had gone too far. Comments ranged from calls for calm and understanding to outright accusations of overreaction and attention-seeking. The online debate quickly escalated, turning into a battleground where every word and action was dissected and analyzed from every angle. Memes and viral clips flooded the internet, amplifying the story and ensuring that it would remain in public consciousness for weeks, if not months, to come. This level of attention only increased the pressure on the cast and producers alike, forcing them to respond and address the crisis head-on. Behind the scenes, the producers scrambled to manage the fallout with emergency meetings and strategic planning aimed at controlling the narrative and mitigating damage to the show's reputation. Attempts were made to hold private discussions between the parties involved in hopes of brokering peace or at least creating a ceasefire. However, the deep-rooted nature of the conflict meant that simple apologies and temporary fixes were unlikely to hold. The damage was done, and trust, once broken, is notoriously hard to rebuild. Even as some cast members attempted to present a united front for the cameras, the tension was unmistakable and simmering beneath the surface. The situation also brought to light uncomfortable truths about the power dynamics within the group. Kirk's role was scrutinized heavily, with many questioning why he had chosen to laugh instead of standing up for Bambi or diffusing the situation. Rumors circulated suggesting that he may have been intentionally stirring the pot for his own benefit, perhaps to gain leverage or to shift attention away from his own controversies. Some insiders hinted at secret conversations where Kirk might have encouraged Rasheeda's dismissive attitude as part of a broader strategy to destabilize the group and assert control. This added a layer of intrigue and suspicion that only fueled public fascination and kept the story alive in the headlines. The lavish lifestyles and the glamorous exterior often portrayed on screen contrasted sharply with the emotional turmoil behind the scenes, making the scandal all the more compelling. Sources alleged that while cameras showed friendship and fun, off-screen, the reality was filled with manipulation, jealousy, and rivalry, with cast members vying for status and influence. The contrast between the public persona and private conflicts painted a picture of a world where loyalty was fragile and alliances were constantly shifting. As legal experts weighed in on the possible repercussions, the physical altercation raised questions about potential legal actions or investigations that might follow. While no official charges had been reported at the time, the incident sparked conversations about liability, personal boundaries, and the consequences of actions taken in the heat of the moment. Speculation also arose about whether this might impact contracts or future appearances, with producers and network executives facing tough decisions about how to handle the fallout. The financial implications could be significant, with advertisers and sponsors wary of being associated with ongoing controversy, potentially affecting revenue streams. This situation was not just a personal dispute but a high-stakes drama with far-reaching consequences. The public backlash extended beyond the immediate parties involved, sparking broader conversations about respect, empathy, and the responsibilities of public figures to model positive behavior even amidst conflict. Media commentators debated the ethics of reality television itself, questioning how much of the drama was genuine and how much was manufactured for ratings. This added a philosophical dimension to the scandal, forcing viewers to confront their own complicity in consuming and perpetuating sensational content. Meanwhile, the emotional toll on those involved was palpable. Cast members shared glimpses of their struggles with the pressure of constant scrutiny and the challenge of maintaining personal relationships under the microscope. Behind-the-scenes emotions ran high, with some expressing regret over how events unfolded and others standing firm in their positions. The fallout from this single incident was not contained to a moment, but spread across days and weeks, influencing interactions and shaping narratives within the group. The fragile peace that once existed was shattered, and rebuilding it would require more than just words. Trust had to be earned anew, and wounds healed over time. This scandal was a stark reminder that behind the glitz and glamour of reality television lay real people with real feelings, vulnerable to pain and betrayal. It exposed the complex interplay between public image and private reality, highlighting the human cost of fame and the thin line between entertainment and exploitation. In the end, the story of Bambi, Rasheeda, and Kirk serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked emotions and the power of laughter when wielded as a weapon. It challenges viewers to reconsider their perceptions and encourages empathy over judgment. The drama may be captivating, but it is also a mirror reflecting the messy, imperfect nature of human relationships in the spotlight. The path forward remains uncertain, with tensions unresolved and the future of friendships hanging in the balance. What started as a moment of disrespect has grown into a scandal with layers of intrigue, conflict, and emotional complexity. The question now is how these fractures will heal, or if they will only deepen as time goes on, leaving scars that may never fully fade. The world watches on, captivated by every twist and turn, waiting to see who will rise above the chaos and who will be consumed by it. The aftermath of the explosive night in Atlanta sent shockwaves not just through the circle of friends but rippled far beyond, stirring up conversations in households, online forums, and entertainment news outlets everywhere. What began as a private moment of vulnerability for Bambi transformed into a public spectacle that challenged the very foundations of the relationships involved and cast a harsh spotlight on the pressures of fame and friendship under scrutiny. As the dust settled, speculation about the consequences intensified, with discussions around possible legal ramifications, contractual repercussions, and even the future of the show itself. Industry insiders suggested that producers and network executives were in crisis mode, deliberating over how to handle the fallout and whether this scandal might irreparably damage the brand they had worked so hard to build. The physical altercation opened the door to conversations about liability and personal boundaries, raising the question of whether charges could be pressed or if mediation and legal settlements would be the path chosen to keep the drama off the courts and within the realm of entertainment. Meanwhile, the emotional toll on Bambi, Rasheeda, and Kirk was palpable. Those closest to them revealed that behind the cameras, tensions remained high with little sign of immediate reconciliation. The scars from that night went beyond bruises and shaken trust. They cut deep into the emotional fabric of the group, leaving many wondering if some fractures might be permanent. The public's fascination only grew as social media remained a battleground, with supporters rallying behind their favorites and critics not holding back in their judgments. Memes, reaction videos, and endless commentary kept the story trending and firmly in the spotlight, feeding a cycle of speculation and drama that producers both dreaded and capitalized on. This level of attention put enormous pressure on the cast to respond publicly, leading to carefully worded statements, vague social media posts, and controlled appearances designed to manage perception without fueling the fire further. Yet, even as the parties involved tried to navigate the treacherous waters of public opinion, the personal relationships that had been tested were left hanging by a thread. Some cast members reportedly began to distance themselves from the chaos, seeking to protect their own reputations and mental health, while others doubled down, unwilling to back down or apologize in a situation where emotions ran raw and loyalties divided. Beyond the immediate cast, the scandal sparked a broader discussion about the nature of reality television itself and the fine line between entertainment and exploitation. Critics questioned how much of the tension was authentic and how much was magnified or even manufactured by producers eager for ratings. Was this fight simply the result of real, unresolved issues? Or was it a carefully choreographed moment designed to captivate audiences and keep subscriptions high? This ethical debate added layers of complexity to an already intense situation and left many viewers reflecting on their own role as consumers of such drama. Financially, the consequences loomed large as advertisers and sponsors watched closely, concerned about their brands being associated with controversy and potential backlash. Some were rumored to be reconsidering their partnerships, creating a precarious balance for the show's future revenue streams. The network faced the difficult challenge of maintaining the delicate balance between sensational content that drives viewership and the responsibility to foster a safe and respectful environment for its stars. At the heart of the scandal was a deeper and more personal story about friendship, respect, and the cost of public life. Bambi's struggle was not just a plot point, but a real human experience that struck a chord with many viewers who saw themselves reflected in her pain and resilience. Rasheeda's sharpness and Kirk's ambiguous role illustrated the complexity of human relationships and the way unresolved issues can fester and explode when pushed too far. The incident became a catalyst for self-reflection for the cast and a wake-up call about the importance of communication, empathy, and setting boundaries. It also served as a stark reminder that fame does not shield anyone from emotional wounds but often amplifies them in ways that are difficult to manage. Looking ahead, the future remains uncertain. Will Bambi, Rasheeda, and Kirk find a way to heal and move forward, or will this scandal mark the beginning of the end for their friendships and careers? Only time will tell. What is clear is that this dramatic moment has forever altered the landscape of their lives and the show itself. The entertainment world will be watching closely to see who rises above the chaos and who is consumed by it. In the end, this story is a vivid example of how the pursuit of fame and the pressures of living life under constant observation can bring out both the best and worst in people. It challenges audiences to look beyond the surface drama and consider the real emotions and struggles behind the headlines. As viewers, we are left to wonder about the cost of reality television's relentless spotlight and the price paid by those brave enough to live their lives so publicly. What started as a moment of laughter at someone's pain has spiraled into a full-scale scandal filled with intrigue, conflict, and emotional depth. The aftermath will continue to unfold with new revelations and shifting alliances, keeping audiences captivated and the conversation alive. This is more than just a fight. It is a dramatic chapter in a story of friendship, betrayal, and survival in the high-stakes world of reality TV, where every moment counts, and nothing is ever quite as simple as it seems. After everything you've just heard, the question remains, what do you really think about all this drama? Was Bambi justified in standing up for herself, or did she take things too far? How much blame should Rasheeda and Kirk shoulder for turning a private moment into a public explosion? These are the questions that keep the conversation burning and the controversy alive. We want to hear your side of the story. Drop your thoughts, opinions, and hot takes in the comments below because your voice matters. Are you Team Bambi, Team Rasheeda, or somewhere in the middle? Don't hold back, this is the place for real talk and unfiltered reactions. If you want more behind the scenes, scoops, explosive reveals, and viral updates on your favorite reality stars, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications so you never miss a breaking story that the mainstream media won't tell you. This saga is far from over, and trust us, you'll want to be here for every twist and turn. So buckle up, stay tuned, and get ready because the next chapter promises even more shock, betrayal, and drama that will keep you glued to your screens. Your opinion counts, let's talk.